Good afternoon and welcome to the Harlan Municipal Utilities Board of Trustees meeting. Today's date is January 22nd, 2026. Like to call the meeting to order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Dickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Approval of the agenda, conflict of interest.
Don't have anything.
Okay. Approval of the consent
We need
agenda.
an approval of the agenda.
We need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Dickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay. Number 3, approval of the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion with a roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a request is made prior to the time the board votes on the motion. Consent agenda items may include non-controversial subjects.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second,
Second.
Al.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Dickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay. Gas department changes to operations and maintenance plan and IAMU operator qualification plan.
Yeah, Colburn can maybe chime in a little bit on it, but basically it's just changes and or updates as required by IMU. And not how often?
It's actually the IUC is the one.
Oh,
that
IUC.
made the changes.
Okay.
So we had to make the changes. A lot of it is verbiage, wording that they didn't like. So that was the only changes. And it was brought to the board in, I believe, December. And then they did more changes, so I hope there's no more for a little while. So, but
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the revised verbiage of the gas department changes to operation and maintenance plan and IAMU operator qualification.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Dickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Thank you. Election of officers for the Board of Trustees effective February 1st, 2026.
And I don't know what,
I don't mind staying as board president because I'm able to go to get the CD signed and do payroll within seconds. And with me being retired now, I'm really at anyone's mercy. If anybody wants me to do anything, let me know.
I know a lot of stuff you can do.
because I don't know, I suppose otherwise what the progression would have been, Jim and now, but I mean, if you guys rotate, but yeah, Michelle, I mean, she's.
Yeah, you have written down Jim for chairman and Al for vice chair.
Would that have been right? I mean, if you,
I didn't look it up.
yeah, I mean, I think, cause last year, I think Jim was you took it on
Yeah.
another year. I think that would have been the rotation.
Right.
But yeah, if I guess it doesn't have to, that's for sure.
What do you say, Jim?
Only do it. I think Michelle's done a fantastic job and continues to do a fantastic job. I'd be willing to fill those roles only if Al is my running mate. If not, I'll remain in my present position. But I turn it over to the board for that decision.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
I don't really mind. I mean,
How do you feel?
I just know I don't want to be the president. That's really
So
all I
basically,
feel.
probably just
Leave it the
keep it
same.
as is.
yeah.
You as chairman, Jim
And
vice.
And Jim is vice.
Yep.
Can we get a motion on that?
I move that Michelle is the president, Jim is the vice president, and we keep things as is.
Second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Dickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Shelton, and that was the shortest campaign that Al has ever run in his career.
It didn't cost me a cent.
Al, did you second that or did Michelle? Which one do you second?
I second.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Election of officers for the Board of Trustees effective February 1st, 2026.
You just did that?
Oh, I'm sorry, committee assignments for Board of Trustees elective February 1st, 2026, effective.
And I think in the packet, that kind of showed where you guys are at right now, so same thing. Up for
Yeah,
debate, leave the
everyone's
same.
good
It's
on
up
their
to you guys.
assignments.
I would like to stay just because I'm new and just learning.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Okay, I move that we keep the committee assignments the same for February 20, or for 26, 27.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Barnett, aye. Sorry.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Shelton, I.
And that'll just be for calendar year 26.
Or
We
26, there
bring
you
it up
go.
every year. It's just late this year because I was gone,
Okay,
so I forgot to put it on in December.
okay.
Quotes for replacement of an air compressor. Quotes were given by Bobcat and Ziegler in the amounts of $28,398 and $30,180 respectfully.
Management is recommending the purchase of the Bobcat unit, for I think they're comparable units, but the Bobcat is about $2,000 cheaper. And on part of that too, we talked about pending legal counsel review. Well, if you go with the Bobcat unit only, their proposal or quote was just a quote, typically like we would get with anything we're purchasing outright. Ziegler had, with their quote, they contained a kind of a term sheet too. So I suppose at that point, we would have had that, pending on legal review and had our attorney look at that if it was the Ziegler, but
Is there any trade-in value on the old one? Nothing?
Nothing.
It's too old?
Yeah, too old. And it was budgeted for.
Okay.
But yeah, like Donald mentioned before the meeting, that what it's replacing is a 1985 unit.
Oh, wow.
So it's time.
Well, I'd make a motion to accept the quote from Bobcat for the purchase of an air compressor in the amount of $28,398.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Shelton, I.
Approve final payment to Lining Construction in the amount of $44,412.60 for overhead door replacement at the 2412 Southwest Ave Truck Bay. Includes change order for relocation of wash bay door controller.
Yeah, so basically that's right here at the office, our new truck bay, where we have all the trucks. Project is complete, and this is the one and only invoice. They were just gonna wait till it was completely done, to just bill everything or invoice everything. That door controller we talked about for the wash bay, that was moved since that new controller is not waterproof. So basically, we really couldn't have it in that environment. They were gonna swap it out. So they just kind of relocated that around the corner, just outside of the wash bay itself, so. That was about $267.50 just to run some conduit wire, relocate that. So that was just added on to that, actual bid amount of the project. But everything went good, everything's operating good. I think we had some trouble with some springs initially unwinding. The coil springs, they had to come back, I think, on the two big doors. Added some more additional set screws in just to keep it from spinning but everything's been working good ever since that. They come back in and kind of reworked that. So, long overdue there too. I mean, we were starting to get to the point where those doors were, summertime they're open all the time, wintertime they're up and down a lot. It was getting to the point where it was getting to the point of safety. They would go up and it was just kind of just the way they were moving. It was kind of one of those things. And they were starting to really nickel and dime us, so.
I move that we approve the final payment to Lining Construction in the amount of $44,412 for the overhead replacement at 2412 Southwest Avenue.
Second?
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Joe, aye.
Okay, certificate of substantial completion number 2 for the raw water system improvements, sections 1, 2, 3, and 4, project.
Yeah.
Number 35.
Yep, so they're calling it certificate of substantial completion number 2 because basically the first one, or if we want to call that certificate number 1, was for the entire water project except for well 35. And basically this 2 is just for well 35 only. If you remember, we changed the well 35 from a shallow to a deep with the change order number 7 in the original project. So then everything else got completed because since we changed that to a deeper well, it was gonna stretch out the timeline. So we did substantial completion on everything else excluding well 35, and now this is for well 35. So basically saying that everything's substantially complete, up and running and usable, which we have been using it, so.
So this doesn't have anything to do with the other one that we're still working on, correct?
Well, this is that one, Al, basically the last.
Test well?
Well, the test well is separate, correct.
Okay,
Yep, test well is separate. That one we're converting to well 35,
okay.
or 36, sorry.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the certificate of substantial completion number 2 for raw water system improvements, sections 1, 2, 3, and 4 project, well number 35.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Joe, aye.
Okay, next one, approve Eric Rose to serve a 3-year term on IAMU Gas Committee with term ending 1/1/2028.
This was actually discussed as an information-only item at our December 22nd, 2025 board meeting. Danny wasn't around, so we kind of had it in the wrong spot, basically. So it does need to be formally approved by the board, so that's kind of why we brought it back.
IAMU likes those to be approved because you're basically giving that person the authority to make decisions without coming back to Joe or Colbert or anybody. So they always like to see it in the minutes that the board is approving that they serve on those committees.
And I think when we talked about it last month too, we talked how it was a good thing to have somebody on that committee because, you know, they're able to make some of those decisions in that gas industry, you know, and we kind of know some of the stuff almost ahead of time that's coming down the pipe too. That's an advantage. I mean, granted, it takes some time, it takes some hours away from their normal work, but I think it's a good benefit. It's a good thing to have somebody on that committee.
I approve Eric Rose to serve the 3-year term on the IAMU Gas Committee with the term ending January 1st of 2028.
Second?
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Joe, aye.
Okay, number 11, recommendation from Al Powers of P&E Engineering for pay application number 19, final, for the 2023-2024 overhead to underground conversion project in the amount of $126,351.13.
Final payment to LFI/Burns Electric for that electric project. There is a warranty period, I believe, of a year on that from the certificate of final completion, which was approved at our December 11th, 2025 board meeting. So we've got a year, you know, we'll pay out. There was a little bit of work in that 126, but the majority of that number is retainage that we were holding through the project. So it's just paying everything out. But there again, with that warranty, any warranty thing comes up in that year, you know, they're expected to come back and on the workmanship, come back and take care of, which we know that'll probably include some seeding this spring. You know, chances are it's not going to come up exactly like we wanted to see it, but spring hopefully they'll come back and dress up a few areas. But that'll be included part of the warranty.
Well, I'll make the motion to, on the recommendation from Al Powers of P&E Engineering for pay application number 19 for 23-24 overhead and underground conversion project in the amount of $126,351.13.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Eckes, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay, number 12, proposal to discontinue the additive of fluoride from HMU Water, Resolution 105-2026, to discontinue community water fluoridation.
Yeah, so basically, more information is coming to light that health issues such as lower IQs in children could be related to levels of fluoride additive in the community water systems. That's, being done right now. I mean, we're doing that right now, adding additive. And we talked, I think, and that was probably more in the committee meeting, that we knew this was probably coming down the pipe. I mean, there is, and I know some of the information we sent in the packets, that you guys could review on that too. Different studies, I know those studies aren't 100% conclusive, but they're saying, I mean, they cannot rule out that there is some health issues,
Right.
with that additive. There's two other states that presently already have banned it, Utah and Florida. And I think there's other ones in the pipeline that are looking at canceling. Nebraska, I think, was one of them closest, so they're already looking into. And there's probably gonna be the dental people are gonna argue the other fact that, lack of fluoride in there too, and oral health is a big thing too, but there again, I guess you can't discount some of these other things they're talking about, the neurological things.
Right.
And IQ, lowering IQs too is a big thing.
Right.
So I think it's coming to that. It seems like even the EPA is starting to swing their recommendations, I guess, as far as not really saying much about it, to where now they're starting to recommend that you probably shouldn't be adding it. So.
Didn't you put too that they've reduced the amount that they recommend?
Over the course of time I've been here, the recommended fluoride levels has been reduced 3 different times, so.
I think it's .7
0.7.
is the max now, or
No,
where they say you should be running it, yeah. But they say once, and I think some of that was reading on too, Donald, wasn't it? Once you start getting above like 1.5 parts per million.
There was.
Is that, it's measured in parts per million. That's where they're saying that there could be the issues with lowering IQs and other health issues start kind of coming into play.
A build-up effect of the more you consume, the more you get, and so it's just.
And we
It's
can't
posed enough of a health risk that it's not, we've had this sprung up in the past
Right.
where we didn't have the scientific data that we have now, but now it's sprung into question, so it's, again, gosh, it's like, I have to recommend that we stop feeding.
Wasn't it 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes.
That we had a board meeting and they were all at the board meeting?
Correct, yep.
And I think naturally, we're 0.3, 0.4?
Correct, we naturally have current fluoride somewhere in the 0.3 range, but with the RO, reverse osmosis, it will take that out a little further.
And I think, in hindsight too, I think it's just gonna have to be a push that as long as you're using,
Good mental health.
yeah, I mean, good toothpaste with fluoride in it, correct?
There's a lot of different places that they can get fluoride.
Yeah, they can get medicine over the,
Actually, the FDA restrict the sales of municipal fluoride tablets now,
Oh.
so I mean, it's not just, it's continuing.
okay. So you want us to make a recommendation to,
You have, it
Discuss.
has to be a board decision,
Okay.
correct?
It would be by approving that resolution.
okay,
And then, the body of that resolution too, just to kind of get into that a little bit, 90-day notice. So once you approve, there's a 90-day notice period where people can object or comment on. The way we got that set up in the resolution is we're wanting to have any written or oral objections by March 26th, correct, Jenny? Yeah, March 26th, same day we would have our March board meeting, so
okay.
If we'd have any written ones, we would have them for the March 26th meeting, or somebody could come to the March 26th meeting and have any oral objections. And
Okay,
if there aren't any, then by June 1st, we're looking at that we would shut down the use of, we would stop feeding.
And their notice will go out in the bills in February to
Okay.
give the 90-day notice, and that's our only legal requirement, besides Joe or Donald notifying the DNR.
Mhm.
And the extra objections is just something extra that we're doing.
okay.
I move to approve the resolution to discontinue community water fluoridation.
Second?
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Eckes, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay, approved proposal and master service agreement for internet transport from Win Technology for $1,800 per month to replace current transport from Zayo for $3,000 per month.
Dot's, kind of some of the background, Dot's contacted Zayo, who's our current carrier, for that, I guess if you want to call it a second transport. And they were not willing to change their current pricing of $3,000 per month. Prior to the Zayo contract, Win was our sole internet transport. So before we got Zayo and Arion, Win was our one and only, so we're familiar with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we would, the master service agreement has been sent to Matt to review, so we could approve it pending his legal review of any changes with that master service agreement. And this would take place when, Dots, is a contract?
It's about 2 to 3 months. Our Zayo contract is up. We're just gonna be on a month to month.
Mhm.
And they wanted to renew our contract at the current price. They say it's 2,500, but they have fees on top of that that push it just over 3,000. And Win will not have that. And we negotiated with them and kind of brought their price down a little bit. And this is also gonna bring, we're gonna have a 100 gig connection from Win to us. We're not gonna utilize that, we're only gonna pay for what we need, but it gives us the ability to go up, and it also gives us the ability to, when larger corporations are in Harlan, like your Casey's and bigger businesses, and they want a dedicated circuit, that with Win being in ours, we will be able to offer dark fiber, and they can get that connection from Win instead of going to a company like Windstream and so on. So it's gonna benefit both of us for this, and they will be bringing a piece of equipment into our office, and then hopefully we get more dark fiber through this also for more revenue.
Well, that's good.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal and master service agreement for internet transport from Win Technology for $1,800 per month.
A second.
Roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Eckes, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay, receive and file the 2026-2027 budget.
Yeah, I don't know if budget was reviewed with the finance committee, so I don't know if Jim or Jenny has any comment on that.
I don't know, I think all the questions were,
Taken care of at our meeting, yeah?
Okay,
Jim, did you have anything?
No, I think we thoroughly reviewed the budget. We made sure we were being good stewards of the revenue that we receive, and I think it is in line with our desire and our intent and mission to be a resilient, high-quality utility provider for our customers.
I would move that we receive and file the 2026-27 budget.
Second.
roll call.
Barnett, aye.
Eckes, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Sheldon, aye.
Okay, information only items. The DGR Engineering Electric System Study is $5,850. Decked bed, toolbox, cap protector, strobe lights and seat cover, electric 2,500 pickup. Decked bed toolbox, cap protector, strobe lights, and seat covers for water 3,500 pickup.
Yeah, and I got a little information on each one of those. The GGR invoice, basically a progress payment to DGR to cover engineering to determine, and what they're working on is to determine the current and future capacity of HMU's corporate electric system. Basically everything excluding our transmission line between Harlan and Avoca. So basically they're gonna look at the system, possibly see where we need to do some improvements, and or determine, okay, a certain portion of the city, if there's a potential business wanting to come in. With this study, we should be able to find out fairly quickly how much power or reserve power we would have in that location. So it's just more or less it's gonna be a good economic development tool. Right now, we're kind of sitting dead in the water and not knowing for sure those exact numbers on as far as what we can provide for megawatts, kilowatts in certain areas of town. So that'd be great to have that study in hand. I think we're hoping to have that in hand. I don't know if they've really said.
Hopefully by May,
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
correct. Item B, the toolbox, cap protector, strobe light, seat covers on the new pickup that we got for the electric department, 2,500 Chevy. 6 accessories were to be added to that new pickup. The pickup was approved at the August 27th, 2025 board meeting. Cost of the pickup and accessories is under the budget amount for that truck. And that'd be the same for item C there too, for the water
Good.
department. Kind of just adding those accessories, and we're still within or under the budget amount that we had for both of those trucks, so.
What's the time frame on getting
One quick
those?
question.
Joe, Jim has a question.
Yep,
Yeah, so we've talked about this as it relates to marketing for a long time. And we have two new assets, which is fantastic, but how are we using them for advertising and marketing?
We have
yeah,
HMU on the door.
Yeah, so I would offer that if, the whole, it doesn't have to be a full vehicle wrap, but I think there needs to be something a little more substantive than just HMU on the door. If that makes sense. This is it's a large capital expenditure that we need to make sure we're getting every aspect of value out of it that we can.
sure.
How long is your mission statement?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna design it?
We can figure something out.
I say we
One
turn
of
it
our
over
kids would
to
design it for you.
the
you
school
give them what
district
they
and
need.
let them design something.
I just said that, Jim. I said one of our kids will design that if you need something. Yep.
Yeah,
Or one of your teachers,
Or, yeah,
Mitchell.
or Mitchell.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you're keeping the logo, you're just adding something that can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you could just,
And like I say, they don't have to do it.
and they can send you 3 or 4. Yeah, they can send you 3 or 4 examples, you pick it.
Yeah.
How big's Jim want? How big do you want, Jim?
I mean, I know at one point we taught, or you had mentioned Jim too, maybe just on the box side, right?
Half.
yeah, I whatever's classy, but also is visible, right? Whatever, I defer to you as it relates to the size of it, but it should be something we're proud of, especially if a community, student is gonna participate in the making of it, or
Yeah.
designing of it, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Are the vehicles here?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they go to the shop on, next week to get the lights and stuff put in, the strobe lights and.
Did you guys budget that in your advertising budget?
No.
I don't know. We'll have to look. I mean, as far as I know if the wraps are real expensive, especially half wrap, I guess.
Did we decide a couple when we talked about it at first, like a couple $1,000 maybe,
Maybe.
was just
A
it.
half rep would be less than that.
Yeah.
You're talking 800 to 900, especially if you're not having to pay for the art
Yep.
side of it.
Who does that locally?
Monster Graphics in Walnut.
Yeah, just north of Walnut down there,
Okay.
yeah.
And isn't there another place that does it too? Like a canopy place, have a building or something?
I just know Monster because of motorsports racing.
Well, and Monster, they do canopies too, so maybe you're thinking the
Oh, it
same.
might be the
It's
same.
Yeah.
Prairie Rose sign.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
thinking of. is Prairie Rose
Monster
sign.
Graphics
Yep.
is the
Part of that.
motorsports wrap
Right,
part of
that's what
it.
I'm thinking of, is Prairie Rose
Yeah.
sign. It's remember the name?
Put a big lightning bolt on it, a
Yeah,
big drop of water on the one.
there you go.
There you go.
But that's not what you was thinking.
No,
Maybe the
we
water
can come up
tower.
with something.
The water
Yeah,
tower
water
with the
tower.
cyclone on it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come up with something.
Okay. And then the CEO's report?
Yeah, I don't have a ton of items, just 3 of them. Getting down on the updates on the projects, but on the raw water system improvements project, we talked about a little bit. Well 35 currently running at about 250 gallon a minute. And like we said, well 36, I mean, we should be able to get about 300 out of that once we get that up and going. We talked to Terra Neighbor, engineer with DNR this week. She's still got it on her pile. She's been wanting to review it for about the last 4 months. She's just backed up. But she said she's working at it, trying to get us something here in the next week, if we can. So once we get the permit for well 36, we do have a little bit of work as far as building the berm around that well. There's not a well house on 36, it's just they call it a pitless adapter. But that is hooked up to the piping. Just got to get the electric finished and everything and ready to go on that, controls. Working with the contractor on the final payment. There's a few punch list items yet to finish on that project, that water project. A few little things. I think they're getting that done. And then working with the general contractor on the final payment minus the liquidated damages like we had talked. You know, we're basically 365 days over on the completion date, so we're going to try to come to some agreement, I guess, on what that number should be that we're going to reduce the final contract amount by. So that's kind of in the works, waiting to hear back from them. Update on the overhead underground electric project. Like I said, contractor will likely need to touch up disturbed areas and seeding the spring with everything covered under the warranty. And the last item I have, received a dividend check from EMC in the amount of $28,494.08. City also received the check too, so it just goes to show kind of being in that pool of other cities, other munis, you know, what the benefit is, you know, especially when you get a dividend check back like that at the end of the year. So, no anniversaries this month, so as far as any employees.
Do we have a water plant guy that has been doing some more tests? I haven't got the
Dylan,
email out
yep,
yet, but
yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dylan passes grade 2
Yeah.
distribution, gonna be working on his treatment.
Grade 2 treatment.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember
So-
seeing
Oh,
the
that's
email
good.
from Donald, I just
Yeah.
haven't got it all sent yet.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so they're all progressing over there. So, other than that, I don't think there's anything else I'm missing. Any questions for me? Okay.
And then, can we get, do we need to get a vote to adjourn, or can I just say adjourn? We're adjourned.